Welcome to the next episode of Decants with D. I am Dietmar Ostermann. I'm your host this afternoon, and I'm the regular guy from Long Island. Today, we have a show in Montauk, Long Island, at the very east end of Long Island. You can see behind the beautiful ocean. This is Long Island at its finest. But today is a special show for two reasons. Number one, I am this weekend turning 60 years old. And number two, we have my show on the air now for 2 years. So because this show is special and this is a special occasion, I'm gonna open up a very, very, very special wine. See you soon. Joseph Phelps was a pioneer of the wine world in Napa Valley. He was the first who came out with names that weren't specifically related to the grape. His very famous special select Cabernet Sauvignon he named Insignia. And so he broke with the old tradition to call a Cabernet Sauvignon in California and Napa Valley. Everybody is familiar with the Joseph Phelps Cabernet, the regular Cabernet that sells for about $65 to $75 a bottle, depending on where you're buying it. It's a very, very good high-end Cabernet in its own right. Then you do have the Insignia, which I featured very significantly on 2 private shows of my videos. But then in addition to the Insignia, Joseph Phelps offers the Backus Vineyard Cabernet. The Backus Vineyard is in Oakville, not far away from the actual winery and showroom of Joseph Phelps. And it's a extremely rich wine that is just put together out of these 10 plots of wine grapes called the Backus Vineyard. I have here the 2018 that I want to open up for the occasion. That's a bottle that typically sells at the vineyard for about $350. The 2018 wine was extremely highly acclaimed as 2018, as you know from my previous shows and all the other writing that went on about the 2018 vintage. It was a great vintage, and certainly in Napa Valley it was fantastic. And so the 2018 regular Joseph Phelps is a great wine. But the Backus is rated 96 points by WineSpectator, 97 points by James Suckling. So I can't wait to taste this baby today, 4 years after the harvest. But of course, it is a wine that would be better and better maybe 5 years from now or 10 years from now. But let's get started. So this bottle is with a red capsule in contrast to the regular Cabernet. The label is beige white, just like the regular Cabernet. Of course, the Insignia is with a purple label, so completely different. Cork pops right out. Since we are here on vacation in Montauk, we don't have our partner Corky the Cork Owl here. I'm going to have to do this show without him. Let's pour a glass of the 2018 Backus. So, at a first look, the wine is, as anticipated, dark, deep, ruby red, which is what you would expect from a intense, full body, ripe Cabernet Sauvignon from Napa Valley in a good year. Let's give it a sniffy sniff. The aromas are more laid back than expected. It's not just exploding in your face. There's aromas here of dark fruit. Blackberry is dominating, but I also detect some black plum. There are some wood accents in the aromas, so definitely from the oak aging process, but also some cedar, some cigar box. A very sophisticated aromas that, as I open it up and let the aromas pop out, it's getting more complex. Definitely also a hint of leather, hint of licorice. Overall promising. Let's give it a whirl. Loaded. This wine is a punch in your mouth from fruit. At this point in time, the 2018 still has a significant amount of tannins and a significant amount of acidity. I would say high tannins, high acidity, full body, high alcohol. It's a dry wine. Clearly has a 10-year plus aging potential. But I think next year would be a good year to start drinking it. 2022 is probably still a little bit early, even though the 2018 Cabernets from Napa Valley were very approachable in general. It's a very approachable early drinking vintage that also will last. But this wine is still a little bit tight. Now I will clearly let it open up for another hour or two and see how it develops and then give it another taste. But right now I would say I give it a 4.5. Long finish, fruity long finish with acidity bites. So that adds to the overall evaluation. It's now a few hours later, and the Backus had the chance in the decanting process to breathe for a few hours. So I want to retry it to make sure I get the top impressions correct. On the nose, very elegant aromas of blackberry, blackcurrant, but also blueberry. There is some wood notes in here, as mentioned before, a little bit of leather, but also graphite and stone. Let's give it the world test. Much better now, but still tight. Needs more time in the bottle. I still believe next year, but even 2024 probably would be a better year to drink it. And yes, you can feel on the strong, not yet completely ripe tannins that it will last easily a good 10 years. The finish is long, juicy, graphite in the finish. So it has some interesting layers of complexity. Overall, I'm not changing my rating. This wine is one for the ages. I would definitely say if you are lucky enough to get a bottle, don't open it up before 2023. The earliest, better 2024, 2025. That's it for today from Montauk. You see me here Sundays, every Sunday. So if you like this show, please like it and subscribe to my channel. I'm also very active on Vivino as a wine radar, so please follow me on Vivino as well. And I see you next Sunday.